Welcome to Reddit's edit. Please like and subscribe. I'm a former homosexual who is happily getting married to a woman next year. Ask me anything. Before her I had never been in a relationship with a woman, but I had been in 6 relationships with men. Do you identify yourself as straight or bisexual? Did you actively seek to change the gender that you were attracted to, or did it sort of just happen? It was a slow process. Through a long series of events in college I realized that I loved the Catholic Church and wanted to be a part of it for the rest of my life. Obviously, this caused a lot of conflict in me, so I decided that, rather than try to be straight, that I would try living without having relationships with other men, in order to clear my mind and let me decide what I would do. During this time, my best friend Sophia went on a vacation to Germany, and while she was gone, and I allowed myself to think about where my life was going, I realized that I loved her so very much, kind of like distance makes the heart grow fonder, I suppose. Like I said in an earlier post, I'd always been a black or white yes or no kind of guy. I decided that I was gay at a young age and I kind of stuck with it through a lot of bad relationships with men. I now identify myself as straight, but I have been attracted to some men since I started dating Sophia. It hardly ever happens though, and it doesn't really matter, because she is the one I want to spend my life with, not anyone else. In terms of seeking the change or not, I actively never sought the change. I never got into this thinking I want to be straight and be married. I just realized that after several abusive relationships, I needed to step away from relationships altogether, and it was when I allowed myself to be single that I began to realize how much I love Sophia. Whoa. A Catholic. What do you think of the groups that the Catholic Church has for homosexual young people? Sorry, I was looking through the comments and somehow I missed this one. I can't really give my opinion on this, because I've never been to one. I hope that they try to follow the theology of the body, but other than that I really don't know. So you are physically attracted to other men, but not to other women? Sophia seems like an emotional thing and that gets you all excited. When I started coming to the Catholic Church and I gave myself a break from relationships, to think about what I want from my life, and if I could be satisfied with not being with men, I began to realize that there were also a lot of women who I found very attractive as well. It's hard to explain other than I allowed myself to remove any preconceptions of myself, and in doing so I realized how I truly felt. I said that I've been attracted to other men. While on the surface that is true, it is now more of a the guy has a nice body as opposed to wow, I really want him. The way that I look at people is more honest to myself than I used to be. Sophia seems like an emotional thing and that gets you all excited. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I have an idea, but I'd like for you to elaborate first, so that I could address your statement properly. A follow-up, would you say that you are then attracted to both men and women? While I do still find men attractive occasionally, I'm now mainly attracted to women. If Sophia weren't in the picture, I doubt I'd have any desire with men though. I just enjoy the thought of a relationship with a woman more than with a man. I think the actual desire for a relationship is what decides a person's sexuality, not our impulsive attractions. Do you believe that homosexuality is acceptable, but that it just isn't for you, or are you opposed to it altogether? I believe that people can be attracted to others of the same gender, and that it may not necessarily be their choice. Either way, the true determination of sexuality is the people that we choose to have sex with. It is my belief that everyone must make their decisions as to whether or not they should pursue same-sex relationships based on their own conscience. However, it is my personal belief, based on experience, that people who are attracted to the same gender shouldn't express that through sex. I know this is an unpopular viewpoint on Reddit, but it is one that has changed my life and allowed me to become who I was meant to be. Even if I had never started dating anyone again, I feel that I would have been happier a single man than a man in a homosexual relationship. It's not the same sex attraction that I'm opposed to, it's the action based off of the emotion. Does she know you're a former homosexual? Yes. She knew me when I was going through the last bits of a very destructive 3-year relationship with a man. Do you consider yourself to be ex-gay? In the literal sense, yes. For a long time I simply chose not to be in gay relationships, and in that time period I began to realize that I was intensely attracted to Sophia. since I continue to choose not to be in homosexual relationships when the only relationships I experienced before were homosexual, then that would make me ex-gay. What do you find attractive about the female body? What do you find attractive about the male body? I think that women are the most beautiful gifts in the world. Every single part of them has a purpose. Every curve and every point. The smell of a woman is unlike that of any man. Amazingly soothing and yet alluring. I find even the most non-typically attractive women to be amazing to watch. They really are in another league compared to us in terms of grace, beauty, and sensuality. Honestly, I wanted to give you as thorough of an explanation about the male body, but I sat here for 10 minutes and I truly don't know. Do you believe human sexuality is a spectrum, or a fixed polarity? I think I'm going to make a few people mad with this, but it's how I feel, so here it goes. I feel that, yes, in terms of sexuality, people are in a broad range of places in their life. However, I also believe that people who are not straight oftentimes have other issues in their life that are influencing them to be that way. I believe that above all, sexuality is a choice. We ultimately choose who we have sex with, but, in my experience, I found that I never found a true and happy relationship until I managed the emotional baggage I was carrying and stopped being a part of homosexual relationships.